Revenge of the Savage Planet, released May of 2025. Available on PlayStation and Xbox platforms for $39.99, or available on PC for $29.99. Revenge of the Savage Planet is a sequel to 2020's Journey to the Savage Planet. However, it takes place on a different planet. In fact, several of them. It is a third-person perspective as opposed to the first person of the original. And the company that our main character is associated with is a different company than from the first game. So this is a very different sequel from the original in some ways. But in terms of style and overall attitude, these games are clearly cut from the same cloth. As mentioned, you work for a different company than in the first game. And importantly, you technically don't actually work for them, as the first thing to happen in the game, upon you waking up from cryosleep, is to discover that you've been terminated from your job at some point during your 100 years of cryosleep on your way to the planet.
I want to let you know how much we appreciate your commitment to the Alta Interglobal Way. Unfortunately, however, we've been forced to let you go. So, we hope you, however, are alive, and that you managed to arrive safe.
As apparently, colonizing planets did not turn out to be as profitable as the company thought. But the good news is, all the equipment they sent for you ahead of time, you can keep, because apparently it would be more expensive for them to get it back. And here is a big difference from the first game, where the first game was all about how incompetent the company you worked for was. The company in this game is just greedy and corrupt and clearly doesn't care about anyone, especially its employees, as they sent you on a 100-year trip to a planet alone, decided to terminate your employment during that time, and have absolutely no plans or intent to bring you back home. And this comically exaggerated corporate apathy will be reiterated at every turn during this game. As much like the first, the game has one joke and it's gonna keep telling it. The game itself is a third-person open-world game with metroidvania elements. And it's not just one open world, it's actually 4 open worlds, and also a 5th that's not so open. On these worlds, you have 2 major goals. The first being to find a way to get home, and the other being to uncover as much dirt as possible on the company that fired you. To accomplish these goals, you will need to keep upgrading your equipment. And that is where the metroidvania elements come in, as each major upgrade to your equipment makes the worlds a little more accessible to you. And of course, in addition to the major upgrades you definitely need, you have many minor upgrades, which are very useful to have, though technically speaking, not 100% mandatory. The major upgrades will require you to find something specific on one of the worlds. It might be a blueprint or a piece of the equipment, or you might need to research something specific on a world in order to make it available to you. And if research is required, it can actually take a couple of forms. You might just need to scan something, or you may need to actually capture some alien creature. In fact, you can capture almost every alien creature you encounter in the game, with the exception of a couple of bosses. However, the difficulty in capturing different creatures varies wildly. As some creatures, you just need to get your lasso around them and you're done. Other creatures need to be stunned first, some of which are stunned by doing something specific to them, like squirting them with water. Others require you to shoot them in very specific places, and targeting those specific places can be rather difficult. The minor upgrades, on the other hand, are unlocked by completing a series of challenges. And you don't get one upgrade per challenge. You get a set of challenges, you need to complete all of them, at which point you're rewarded with a whole set of upgrades. Or, I should say, access to these upgrades, as you still need to spend resources to actually get them. But getting them is usually worth it, as they do make things considerably easier once they are acquired. All upgrades, both major and minor, do require resources. All will require some amount of aluminum, carbon, and silicon. Some will also require spools of printer thread. The first 3 can be attained from deposits on the various planets, aluminum being green, carbon being blue, and silicon being yellow. All three can also be found on various creatures if you go hunting the creatures. Spools of printer thread, however, are always found in chests, and the vast majority of chests have some kind of puzzle associated with them to unlock them. The good news is, the chests that actually have the spools in them are marked on your map, so you'll know ahead of time if you really need to deal with the puzzle or not. And early in the game, it doesn't seem like resources are going to be any kind of a problem, but at least in my experience, the end of the game saw me going places to farm resources to get those final upgrades to actually finish the game. And there are actually two separate endings. One where you fight a big boss and it's more just kind of a joke on the player, and the other ending where you successfully make your way home and take down the company that abandoned you on these planets. And yes, you can get both of these endings in one run. So is Revenge of the Savage Planet worth your time and money? Well, it's an under 20-hour experience for $40 on console and $30 on PC. And it has really no replay value. As to actually complete the game, you'll see everything this game has to offer. And the jokes are at best mildly amusing the first time around, but without any element of surprise, there will be no charm to them. If you are truly a completionist, there are extra things to do outside of the story. You can hunt down the various cosmetics there are to find, as there are many outfits you can mix and match on your characters, and all of them are a cute reference to something. And you can go around capturing the unimportant animals, so you can get different colors for your costumes. But the value of cosmetics is entirely up to the individual player. I personally do not care about them. You also have the option of finding caches of currency around the various planets. You can use this to customize your living area. So you could make yourself a fancy bedroom, a fancy bathroom, an entertainment area, so forth and so on. However, none of this actually serves a practical purpose within the game. It doesn't in any way help you accomplish your goals or help you get upgrades. So it's basically just digital dollhouse furniture that you can move around as you see fit. And I saw very little point to it. Unlike the first game, there is a multiplayer mode here. It is co-op, and you're working towards the exact same goals as in the single-player campaign. It can be done locally or online, but as it doesn't add anything new to actually do, I here again don't see much point to it. While Revenge of the Savage Planet certainly has its charm, I don't particularly find it worth its $30 to $40 price tag. I think it is something that is best saved for a sale, as this would be a delightful game to have at $20 or less. But in the $30 to $40 range, there are other similar games that will scratch the same itch as this one, and scratch it better. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.